Today in Eppy's Shop, we're swinging by your mom's house to ask her why her breath stinks so bad. Today in Eppy's Shop, we're making biscotti. Today in Eppy's Shop, we apologize for every horrible thing we've ever done. It's gonna be a long episode. Wow, what up, guys? And welcome back to another episode of the Chop Shop. And in all honesty, I don't have a genuine plan on this episode, but I feel a little less dead. It's like 50 out, sun's out, so I'm out here, man, letting some of the stench air out of the garage, and I have a plethora of things to do, and I'm kind of just gonna hit on a variety of them. We're all out here today. First and foremost, I've just kind of been doing some cleanup because the way I ended the last episode is I said I was going to work on these pistons, and if you can count, it's 8, boy. Gang, got all 8 of them pistons out. Next, we're just going to soak it some more, get that cam out of there. Next, after that, we're pretty much ready for cleanup and machine shop. We can order parts and stuff after that, but what I am attacking right now is I'm going to start bracing this frame. And first off, plans have changed again. I had discussed previously I was going to do a little C-notch on this thing. I've decided to ditch that idea, even if I have to cut a hole in my new wood floor of the bed. I'm going to go ahead and just do the full C-notch on this thing. This thing's probably going to end up bagged eventually, and I've had slammed trucks with small notches where the axle still hit the frame. I'm not trying to deal with that in this thing. I want to drive this thing, and I want to comfortably drive this thing. I don't want my axle smacked on my frame, so this thing is probably going to end up, even on leaf springs, with a big enough notch that I could probably on like 18s or 20s clear. So what I am doing right at the moment is to see I got some jack stands out. I'm getting ready to square this frame up because I want it level this way and this way. So I'm going to basically I've picked the flattest sections of the frame where I think the weight is going to be balanced. It's the most. Obviously can't put any stands back there because I'm going to be cutting that center section of the frame out. So I'm going to balance this out real quick, and then we'll move on to what our plan is next. Alright guys, so got the old frame here sitting level, and I think what my next thing that I'm going to knock out is well, I have a real nice warm day, get the fan on, keep my blower on, and keep myself some fresh air. I think I'm going to hit this frame with a wire wheel. A, so it's clean. B, so I can plainly see my marks. Being clean also has the benefits of welding and things I'm about to do to it. So, but I don't know. Let's knock that out.
Perfect.
Okay, so as always, I kind of got a little bit carried away, so check it. Looking nice with their fake stance already. God, exhaust is out of the way. Okay, hear me out. What happened is I started cleaning the frame, and I was like, why am I taking the effort to clean the frame like I'm ready for paint? When I'm nowhere near paint, I have to cut and hack the crap out of this thing still. So what I decided to do was just kind of half-ass clean up the spots where I'm going to be cutting and making marks and removing and whatnot. And when that led me to do was clean the spots where I need to weld a brace so that I could remove the cross member. So literally, that's exactly what I did. Is I welded those braces in, cut that cross member out, decided my exhaust is in my way, cut that out of the way, and moved on to the next project, which you also saw me setting things on fire. And I forgot the thing. Go back. Leaf springs and fire. Okay. Reason for that is again, I have to get a bushing out. I don't have a press or anything. And at least in my mind, what would make sense to do would be to make these the diameter of the bushings from the factory. That way you could just do what I did and just melt these bushings out, slide these new ones in. But these bushings are actually the diameter of the metal O-ring or metal tube cylinder that slides through the center of the leaf spring. So I got to get that out too. Really dropped the ball on that one. It would be so nice to just melt that rubber out, slide this thing in. Jeez, stupid. But check it, guys. I'm set up, man. I'm ready to order my big C-notch. And like I said, or not C-notch. I'm not doing C-notch anymore. Step notch. And pardon me for constantly changing my mind on this. I'm ADHD. I have a million plans going, and I don't know. It's just life, and that's how projects like this work, anyways, right? But what's gonna go down now instead of that little tube notch? Like I said, it's going to be a full-blown step. I don't want to go that high. I'm gonna try my best. To keep it under my wood bed floor. I'm trying to have the best of both worlds here, and So hopefully my frame is probably going to be, I have 3.5 inches to play with to the bottom of my bed floor. So I'm going to probably build a jig or something that'll be a 3-inch mark, and I'll try and keep my my step notch that I get underneath of that. But that depends. I have other things that I need to measure that will be a factor in that as well. No, I am not dedicated to not cutting a hole in the bed of my floor. The hole in the bed of my floor? Is that right? Hole? No, hole in the bed of my floor. No, it's not fucking right. Hole, Jesus. Hole in the floor of my bed. Wow. Long story short, before I die, this thing's probably going to end up bagged, if I'm being honest. And that's kind of what made me decide that I'm going to end up doing the full notch in this instead of that C-notch. Because it doesn't make sense to do a little itty-bitty C-notch and then come back through and do that big step notch. Plus, like I said, I've had vehicles that even with notches, the axles will smack the frame. I don't want that. I'm trying to have the best of both worlds, of all worlds, at least in stage 1 of this vehicle. Later in life, I'll probably have some axle smacks, and I'm going to have to use a heavier duty transmissions and stuff, but I'm keeping my I-beams, my 3-speed, my old V8, I'm keeping it old school here. Keeping it old school. But, I think, next on the agenda, I'm going to get this window out. Reason being is the seal needs to be replaced. I want to paint this roof candy white, and I've had a couple close calls with this already. I haven't hit it, but I've come real close to hitting it, and what I would have hit it with would have broke it. So we're gonna get this out. A, to prevent it from breaking, like I said, and B, I have a cool project I want to do with it. So let's get this window out of here real quick. This is almost like a little cutaway, so we can see how we're gonna do this. I'm literally just gonna run my knife. What is this? I think like maybe an 1/8 inch. I'm just gonna cut that right off, just like that, and this window will come right out. Alright guys, got the glass out, and surprisingly enough, it's pretty solid. Check it. Got some areas that I'm going to attend to, but I'm going to attend to all this because this is all going to need paint prepped. I'll probably acquire the help of my buddy Kyle again, and we're going to do from probably here-ish, around, up, in a really heavy pearl metal flake white, and it will probably end somewhere around here. But yeah, the whole roof will be that nice, like boat paint, real heavy metal flake. But back here, what we got going on? As I said, I got everything, cleared out as you're seeing, and I just made a little jiggy here. And what this little jiggy represents is the bottom of my bed. The top of this bar is the bottom of my bed floor. I was doing that, I don't have my C-notch in yet. It'll be in tomorrow, actually. But I have some decisions to make because I put the wheel back on the axle. I took a measurement, and it is 16 inches to the top of the axle, which means if later in life I want this thing to lay frame, and this isn't a good representation. I ran a bar across earlier to get, a flat landmark, but 16 inches approximately is all the way up here, way above my bed floor. So I have that decision to make. Now I'm not 100% sure if the C-notch that I ordered actually even steps that much. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't bag my truck and still get real low. It just wouldn't completely lay on frame with that diameter wheel and tire. Now, I think where this project is heading, and I'm kind of trying to stick to a few rules, is I don't want to get too hasty and pull the trigger and go crazy on this truck. I love this truck, and it's going to be with me for a long time. So I want it to progress and become better. I don't want to do anything wild and insane crazy with it. I'm going to be honest. My taste in vehicles has changed a lot over the last couple years, and I don't want to completely do something I can't undo or work with later as the truck evolves and me as a car guy evolves. So that's kind of why I'm doing some of the things that I'm doing. I can permanently work with a nice, heavy step notch. I can't permanently work with a little C notch. I can still run, I'll be able to do a 4-link, do all kinds of cool stuff. Right now I'm sticking with my I-beams, but later if I want to, I can do a front clip off of something else, or maybe buy like a Mustang 2 set up and modify it or whatever. But probably never happen. I like my I-beams. I like the way they ride. But, I think that is probably where we're going to end this episode. Like I said, I'm waiting on my axle shackles now because I ordered the wrong ones, obviously. They're not my shackles. My shackles are in. My purchase. I'm waiting on my purchase. Tomorrow, my big old step notch will be in. So check me out on Instagram and Facebook. I post as I make progress throughout the week, and then obviously my videos come out on Thursday. So check out Eppy's Trap Shop on the gram and on the Book of Faces. But yeah, that's all I got, man. And thanks, guys, for hanging out. If you're new, subscribe, like, share, tell your friends, tell your mom. Moms love my show. I promise, they love it. But that's it, guys, man. Look at that. All this work. So much more work to do. We got to cut all that shit out, too. So, stay tuned. Deuces. Jada!